So I'm here with Farel on the university campus, and Farel has been working this summer as an undergrad student in the lab for almost all. And I want to ask you about the lab that you developed for the fall. Which lab is that?
So I created the sorting visualizer lab. It's basically like you know those YouTube videos where they show how different sorting algorithms work by visualizing them, drawing bars and showing the movement of elements. It's basically a simpler version of that we make students implement in Risk 5. And in order to do that, we use a library called GLIR, which helps simulates those graphics by those bars. And it's actually a very nice library, and it's also created by...
It was created by us at CDL, by former students, right?
So it's also nice to have that, you know, using what they actually made previously and work building on top of that.
Now that was a very nice piece of work, and I hope that the students will go and enjoy
I hope so too.
seeing the visualizer working after they do the lab. So, but you are also working with Rajan on creating Check My Lab, right? So tell us about Check My Lab, what Check My Lab does.
So Check My Lab, it's something that we've always wanted, because especially as a student of 229 as well, I found that some of the labs may be kind of challenging when there's like no way of testing it out. I know for one of the lab that I did, I thought all my code was working and everything, but turns out it failed a few of the test cases. But those are just, you know, those test cases that I haven't taken into account for. So I think having a way to be able to test our solution against all sorts of different test cases is also important for the lab in debugging. So basically Check My Lab is just this web app where students and teachers can first upload the lab, and when the students click on that lab, it's basically like a shared collection of test cases. So me as a student, for example, I can submit my current solution and then test that solution on different test cases that not only the teachers and TAs provide, but also other students' test cases. That way it'll help making the labs and debugging it a lot easier.
So it's a very good design, a very good tool, but there's quite a bit behind for the development of Check My Labs, right? To make it work. So there is issues with security, there's issues with user interface, database management, right? So there is lots of work that you guys are doing to make that work properly, right? And this is August, mid of August. We are still work on development. So one of the things that I think we need to tell students is be patient with us if something doesn't work properly, right? Okay, so tell just a few words on your experience and your view of the labs now that you have been in CDRL for the summer compared with before when you are a student, right? I mean, there must be some understanding of what goes behind the scenes to make the labs work.
No, for sure. I guess being in part of CDRL, I think I kind of underestimated how much work goes into the labs, because it's not just okay, one person does it, but there's a whole pipeline of it.
We have an entire review process. We have lots of things happening. Basically, I think the message to the students is that we put lots of time and effort to try to make sure that they have a good experience in the labs, right? Okay, so thank you very much.